Hey, welcome back to Mobility Project. Special guest today. This is my great aunt Cindy, who you should know is no longer in her 20s. In fact, the reason I mention that is that she's competing in which number Ironman is this? Fifth Ironman Kona. She was a top 10 finisher 2 years ago when that was part of her cycle. I just want to point out something that she's still supple and flexible, and it's one of the reasons that she's able to handle lots of volume, don't you think, and train so hard?
Hopefully, yeah.
But one of the things I want to show you is, let's say you've just embraced this entire paleo lifestyle and you don't have a watch because cavemen and cave women didn't have watches. So you've got your watch on, your heart rate is low, you can't tell right now because you're not paying attention. But what you could do is use the paleo timer, which is fill a glass of wine. We're at day 181, which means that we've got to spend 10 minutes in the bottom of the squat. So what's the best way then? Spend time with family in the paleo chair with your paleo timer. What I want you to do is fill up some wine. It could be water, and you can just drink away. 10 minutes, whenever that wine's gone, you're done. What I want to show a little bit today, isn't that a nice way? It's all right, it's okay. What I want to show a little bit today is, we get a lot of questions about the foot straight. What we're really looking for is trying to create as much torque as we can in the hip. And when that foot collapses, or if you turn your feet out, by default, you're going to always collapse, and that navicular head is going to drop, and you're going to see the foot arch drop. And it's actually really difficult to create as much torque as you need to keep the foot into a good position, because it's the extra rotation of the foot that creates a stable locked-off joint. And what ends up happening a lot of times when we see athletes looking for other additional torque, when their feet are turned up, they'll actually pull their foot toe up off the ground, which does a whole host of problems inside the medial leg. And what happens is that the athlete ends up squatting on the outside of their feet. And we know that when athletes do that, this is a real mistake. We lose this kind of longitudinal arch. And what's happening by pulling the toe up, we've basically activated this thing called the windlass effect, which is basically when the toe pulls up, it tightens up this kind of plantar fascia, which is useful when I'm walking forward, not useful when I'm squatting. And what I want to do is try to create the same amount of torque in the foot to give me that stability with that foot forward. As soon as I do this, if my foot is turned out, I'm more likely to collapse, and because I can't generate as much torque, I end up trying to go out on the outside of my toe to kind of compensate, and then I have a whole host of other mechanical problems. So squatting, big toe on the ground, just like you're doing, that looks great. You can shove your knees out, trying to create as much torque as you can, and do this little test for yourself. See what happens to your arches when you turn out a little bit, and see what happens to your arches when you're straight. Again, we're just looking to create as much torque as we can. Clearly, if you have a hard time getting to full depth and keeping the heel on the ground, foot straight, that's one of the mechanical cheats, and that's one of the reasons we see so many heel problems in a lot of athletes. Whoa, nice job. Good, that's good balance, But why we see so many heel problems in a lot of athletes is that their Achilles now, my Achilles is no longer pulling on axis, it's pulling off axis. But now, I'm back. We're 2 or 3 minutes into this test. I have some wine to finish. Congratulations on making it to the 6th 10-minute squat test. Is that right? 6th. This is your chance. Go flash on your friends and show them what's up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Aunt Cindy.
Bye, Al.